2020. But as I said, because of pandemic, there is no current survey has done. So that would definitely would reach 5 million metric ton because of the digitization technology emerging. Because everybody knows, everybody wants a new mobile phone. Everybody now the old queue system which were normally in some 5 or 6 or 10 years back, which were normally used to stand in queue to submit the electrical bill or the water bill or maybe any other bill we have to submit or pay. Right now it's with one click of a button we can do the payment. And because of that digitization, electronic waste is getting generated, and almost 5 million metric ton is the figure which is current in India, which is getting generated annual basis. Some source, you can see these are the some example of electronic waste. Earlier that was the fax machine which you were normally using. Fax you can see on the very top left top corner, and then the CFL tube lights which you were using. And you can see the TV also in it's in Registan, where we are showing this kind of TV because there is no use of this TV right now. Not even in the rural area also they are using now. They have upgraded. Okay, then you can see these computer also. Some Apple kind of computer is there, or Lotus. That was the computer, I believe, when I was in ninth standard, somewhere around 1995. So these were the kind of computer we were used to work on. And then you can see again the fax machine or the typewriter, which you also can see electronic typewriter. That time that was very we can say it's a new technology, and we were very happy to work on this. But right now in the current scenario, once the new technology has emerged, it is completely obsolete, because there is no use of this, because everything has come under one device which is called mobile or the laptop. Even your fax, your emails, your typewriter, your letter, everything you can do with the help of your computer. Then printers are there. You can see the refrigerator and washing machine also there. My mother used to wash clothes in this single machine, which were normally has one tub there, which can be just wash the clothes. Now we have the automatic washing machines are there. So these are the obsolete ones. So these are the sources. You can see these are the names. There would be many. We have just noted down some 2021. Okay. So you can say mainframe or mini computers, which were earlier days, which were normally we used to use for our computer purpose. Laptop, notebook computer, copying equipment. They're like your photocopy machine, electric and electronic typewriters, fax machine, telex, telephone, pay telephone, and air conditioned washing machine, fluorescent and other mercury containing lamps. See, we have added this fluorescent and other mercury containing lamp also, because earlier it was not into the electronic waste, it was into the hazardous waste. We will talk about the hazardous waste also, as well as for the electronic waste. So current scenario, you can see there in India, there are 10 states which contribute 70% of the total e-waste generated into the country. You know the total number of states in our country, and out of these 10 states, which are contributing almost 70% of the total e-waste generated, while 75 cities generated more than 60% of the total e-waste. Okay, so you can count the total number of cities are there into the India. Out of this, 65 is the total number of cities which is generating almost 60% of the e-waste. Among the top 10, you can see these Toxic Bites is a magazine from where we have took this. So this is the top 10 cities and states where the e-waste is getting generated or producing. So you can see there is some picture also. Okay. Then who are the stakeholders of the electronic waste or e-waste, we should say. So you can see the producer. You know who's the producers are? Producers are the companies who are manufacturing the electronic products. Maybe LG or Samsung, or maybe Dell or IBM, anybody, any company who are importing or maybe doing the production and selling their products into the Indian market. They are called the producer, and they are the biggest stakeholder into the electronic waste. We are just asking you, or I will ask you to concentrate on the producer, because it's a big picture which I'll show you how the producer are getting responsible or making responsible for the electronic waste. That we will discuss in detail in the next some slides. So then individual consumer, who all are the individual consumer, you, me, our relatives, our friends, whosoever is using any electronic gadget, maybe mobile, maybe laptop or desktop or refrigerator or washing machine, anything which we are using in our domestic home or maybe our for personal use. These are the individual consumers. Then comes with the bulk consumer. Bulk consumers are the corporate who are having or who are using the electronic products in bulk. Let's say your company, maybe once you are pass out from the college, not maybe, you will definitely pass out and you will join the company. And any corporate which you will be going, they must be using many number of computers or laptop or desktop plus ACs as well. So these are called the bulk consumer, who basically consume these electronic products into the bulk quantity. So these are called the bulk consumers. Collection center and dismantling a recycler. So till then, till producer, bulk consumer and individual consumer, we were talking about the consumers. Now the next stakeholders are collection centers. Collection centers are centers where we do the collection of the electronic waste. Okay, and the dismantler and recycler, these are the player who basically dismantle the collected e-waste and do the recycling of this product. So these are the stakeholders, 5 stakeholders of the electronic waste, how it gets generated and who all take care of their e-waste and do the recycling part. Why e-waste is hazardous? So everyone has heard about this. E-waste is hazardous. We have to take care. We should not give it to the informal sector who treat that electronic waste in very bad manners or in a very hazardous manner. So how it is hazardous? So you can see it's why it is getting generated, because of the rapid technology change. Every time we have the new iPhone 7, 8, 10, I believe 11 or 12 is the new version which is there into the market. So nobody wants to use the old one. They want to upgrade their technology and they want to use with the new upgraded or new version of the iPhone. So that's how the technology gets obsolete and new technology emerge and come into the market. Increase consumer electronic purchase. We have to purchase the electronic. There was a time when they normally in a locality or in a society, they used to 1 or 2 telephone landline numbers are there where normally we used to call any our relatives. Now every individual wants to carry his or her own mobile phone, okay, his or her own tab and the laptop from where they want to study the class or they want to join the class. Okay, so that's how this e-waste getting generated and it is increasing. More hazardous material, landfill. Earlier days, there was a time when there was no technology how to do the recycling of this e-waste in India. So normally, what this informal sector was doing, they were just extracting or that material, whichever was the valuable for them, and rest of the material they send it for the landfilling. They used to burn that material. They used to they open into the open environment, which it can harm to openly the person who is treating that material, and openly it harm to a nearby area of that particular area from where this getting treated into the informal sector. So increase human health risks, because you see, once we are saying that they normally used to burn that material. So once they burn that material, they are just polluting the air. So once they are done with the pollution with that, and whatever the residues are there, they normally used to throw into the nearby river or river area or river. So this is how they may normally harm the river or water also. So some of the component, how these things are made. So you can see first one is the printed circuit board, the PCB. Normally any electronic product which you are using, maybe it your laptop or maybe it your phone or maybe your TV or washing machine, every electronic device has one component that is called PCB, okay, printed circuit board, where all the condenser and some technologies devices are there. So these are the PCB boards which lies in all the electronic waste, which contains lead and cadmium. And we will talk about what all these harmful elements, how does and what organ or the body part get impacted due to these toxic elements. So you can see the CRT TV, which normally we were using earlier, that is lead oxide and cadmium. Then you can see flat screen TV and thermometer. Everybody knows the mercury, and we have to treat that mercury properly. Okay, then its batteries and capacitors are there, which are there, which lies on the printed circuit board, it having cadmium and PCBs. And then the cables has PVC. Once we burn this cable, it's kind of plastic which normally pollute the environment or the air. It's a small, or we can say give you an overview what all components are there if we are treating any electronic waste, like let's say a computer or a laptop. So what all elements are there and what could be the percentage, an average percentage, approximate percentage of that particular material which we extract from these kind of e-waste. Let's say once we are treating any computer, so it could be iron and steel, which is 50% of their weight. If it's a computer is 4 kg or 5 kg of that particular device, would be two. Okay, so could be 50% of the weight would be iron and steel. Then plastic components will be there, some 20 to 21% of the plastic material will be there into that computer or laptop. Then non-ferrous metal and other constituents are there. Okay, so these are the things how it made and what we can extract from the computer. See, these elements will give you the picture of electronic waste. If we are treating any electronic waste or maybe any electronic gadget you are using, so these are the component or the elements who made this while the time of production. These are the products which they use and make your particular product to use. Once it is end of their life, so these are the products which can be extracted from the electronic waste: iron, plastic, non-ferrous metal, copper, even some gold also, okay, aluminium and other components. So informal sector, let me show you. These are the areas of Selampur or maybe some Jamna Park, Trans Jamna areas where these kind of electronic waste are getting treated. You can see these guys who how they are extracting the material. You can see the condition. Even nobody is wearing a mask or even, and they are just breaking these kind of material openly in open environment. Okay. Now next, using acid. See the condition of that labor, how they are using. They are just, it's a plastic drum, acid proof drums which are there, and they use these chemicals to extract some precious metal from the electronic waste, and it is completely harmful for the environment as well as the health of these laborers also who do this kind of activity, but due to necessity of their uh, earning, they have to do it. Then burning PCB. Normally, to extract some material from these PCB, they normally burn it. And once they burn it and they are through with this, using the chemicals and all, you can see there is extraction of gold, how they are using it. And you can see on the very top left side of picture, there's some fumes are there which are coming out from this particular बर्तन जो यूज कर रहे हैं, और उसके अंदर से it is harmful for environment as well as for the person who is extracting this material. It is very harmful. Okay, and they normally used to extract this kind of gold or precious metal from this electronic waste. How these informal sector treat this particular electronic waste? That's why the government says any of the bulk consumer, any individual or any corporate or any producers who are generating the electronic waste, they should not give this electronic waste to any informal sector who treat this particular electronic waste in a very hazardous manner. Right? So now we will talk about, so again, some pictures of informal sector. This is how they pollute the air, water. You can see there is some river. How it is opening the toner cartridge, cancerous it is. It is a very cancerous. The person who gets, and it is, you can see it's just opening that particular cartridge in an open area, which is going through his breath. Through breathing he can inhale that particular powder of black carbon powder. Okay, and it is openly breaking this. So these are the harmful chemicals, or we can say that thing, and how it is getting, how our organ or body parts are getting impacted on this. You can see selenium, which is impacting your hairs, your brain. And then mercury normally straight your brain and your kidney and liver, your digestive system. Okay, lead again your brain and your liver, kidney वगैरह के लिए, सबके लिए harmful है. So these are the things. See, electronic waste is not hazardous until it is getting treated in an informal way, or maybe it is getting transported in a unethical way, like in a damaged condition. Okay, we have to take care कि जो भी CFL हमारी ट्यूब लाइट्स हैं या हमारे पास जो कार्ट्रिजेस हैं जो हम कैरी कर रहे हैं, that should not be in a broken condition. If it is broken anyway, we have to keep it in a bag which should not be spread outside. Okay, again the same thing happens with the battery also. Battery, we should take care of the battery while carrying or while doing the transporting the batteries, because it is very harmful. The chemical which we got from the battery is very harmful. Okay, so these are the things which we have to take care while carrying or transporting the e-waste. The thing, e-waste is hazardous once it is getting treated into the informal way. That how we shown you in the earlier slides. So our recycling industry, now we will talk about the formal sector. Till the time we discussed about the informal sector, how they are treating, how it is hazardous, and uh, how they are working on this. Now we will talk about what is our mainstream, or we can say our formal sector, which is being the license or the authorization given by the government, and what is the policy of recycling of electronic waste. So main thing is recycle. You can see the recycle main build or we can say build on 3R, R1, R2, and R3. One is reduce. Reduce means you find out the way how you have to reduce the amount of generation of e-waste. So how we can do it? The time we are absoluting our old laptop or maybe the phone, we have to see how much more time we can use that particular device. It is not only for the fashion now which has happened right now to change that mobile due to the new version of iPhone or maybe the Android. We should use that particular device till the time it is no use of yours, right? Or the technology is obsolete from the market. Till the time you have to use it. How we can reduce? Reuse. Reuse is basically whatever the material. Maybe there could be time, or maybe where when your laptop or maybe your mobile phone, and it is no use of yours. Okay, because of the new software which you want to use, which your phone cannot carry or cannot be installed, or maybe some new technology or new software for what you need a high grade of your laptop or maybe the system. So in that case, you have to discard your old laptop or the mobile. But India is a huge market. There are many people, many students who cannot afford the new technology or the new laptop or the gadgets. But they definitely, because of the digitization, because of the new technologies like YouTube, every student has to have access of that particular digital platforms. But due to the earning or maybe the financial crisis, they cannot afford the new one. So we have to see how we can send these particular devices to reuse the device for the people who cannot afford the new one, the new technology. There are policy in many corporates like IBM or maybe any big companies. After 4 or 5 years, they have to discard their laptops. Okay, they have to get the new technology, because there are some new software, new technology which they have to use. But it is not that the product life is end. That product can be used into the Indian market. There are many students who can use that laptop, and they can attend their online classes. Now during this pandemic session or pandemic time, every student has to join their classes from the home. Okay, so we have to see how we can reuse it. Then third one, once the reuse is done, we have planned how to reduce, we have planned how to reuse that material. But still there are some obsolete, as I shown you, there were some CRT monitors which are, there is no use of that monitors right now. So that particular devices or equipment has to go for the recycling or the recovery. This is called 3R of recycling. 3R of recycling: reduce, reuse, and recycle or recover, that you can say. Okay, so this is the base of recycling industry of electronic in Indian market. Sir, how do you dispose of the e-waste? Gitesh is asking how do we dispose of the e-waste. So we'll talk about that. How do we do it? Okay, I'll show you some pictures also. Gitesh. So after doing the recycling, there is no landfill. It's a zero landfill. Earlier days, when there was no technology to recover the plastic or maybe the recycle that properly, normally we used to send that electronic waste for the landfill. Okay, which impact the fertilization of that particular soil. Okay, now there is no landfill through the formal sector, how they are recycling it. After that, there is no remaining residue for the recycling. So how we can do this? One is the donation. Donate your old item and buy used one. If you want a laptop and you maybe you just have to do your Word, Excel, PowerPoint kind of thing, or maybe some normal classes which can be attended into the old laptop. So you should go for the used one. Okay, and you should also donate your old gadgets to the people who really need it. Okay, then refurbishing. Refurbishing is anything which got faulty due to any technical reason, and you discarded that particular gadget or electronic product, that should go for the refurbishing. Refurbishing means they check all the component, they repair it, and then send it to the send it to the market for reselling. Okay, this is how the refurbished market works in India. Then electronic take back coalition. Buy from the companies that offer take back programs. See, maybe you have mobile and you want to discard it. There is Amazon, there is other companies also who give you the benefit of take back, who can buy back offers are there. So give your product to them rather than keeping that particular electronic waste or the mobile in your cupboard and just covering that particular area. Better to send it to the companies who are giving you the buyback offer. Okay, choose product with less toxicity, greater recycled content, and high efficiency. So you all must be aware about in terms of in vehicles there is BS4, BS6 now is the technology. Just the same way in electronic also there is BIS standards are there. So through BIS, what government is doing while manufacturing the product, what is the percentage of harmful chemical they are going to use? So with the BIS standards, they monitor, they make a standard that minimum harmful component or element should be there while making the products. Okay, so while you are going for the buying the new products, take care of their BIS rating. Okay, the higher rating, the good one. Okay. How can recover e-waste? Reuse. Just wait.
So you can go with the PPT only, and we will have a Q&A session at the end properly.
Correct. Not an issue. Thank you. Preventing waste is the first place is preferred management option. Reuse. Okay, preventing waste मतलब कि जब उसको reuse जितना कर सकते हैं, we should reuse that particular material so that the generation of e-waste should be decreased. This can be achieved through repairing, upgrading used electronic equipment, example, adding memory to a computer or upgrading software. Okay, this is how you can reuse your old laptop or your phone. Okay, there are some companies who are do this for you to, if you want to increase your memory power of your laptop, so you can get it done and even upgrade your OS version also. Recycle, make use of take back programs. Through recycling units are either reused or dismantled for recycling. So the remaining part, once the reuse is done and now there are component or there is a product which are there is no you cannot reuse it, that should go for recycle only, should not be discarded through the kabadiwala or informal sector. That should be given to the formal sector or the recycler. There are many companies who give you the option for the collection. Okay, and in electronic waste, in e-waste industry, I would like to tell you collection of the e-waste is the biggest challenge, because the electronic product which you are discarding has no much value than the logistic cost which any player has to bear. Like we have an office in Jangpura, and somebody from Narela says, "Ki, sir, we have some one phone or two phone with one refrigerator. Can you please get it picked from my location, and how much will you pay to me?" So in that case, as such, we won't be able to pay you anything. That will be better if you can give it for free, because that's the cost which we have to bear to get it transported from Narela to our premises. Okay, this is the biggest challenge what we normally face into the e-waste industry. Okay, and as my discussion earlier with the NSS SPC team, we will see how we can make a kind of mechanism, how we can set up some kind of collection center in area wise, where we will get the feasibility to pick the material in a better quantity, and we will definitely, we are eager to pay back to you, whosoever is giving us the material. The silver, gold, platinum, and other precious metal are recyclable. See, e-waste industry or the recycle industry is called the circular economy. Circular economy means, let's say you are just making a product. Let's suppose laptop. For making a laptop, you need some plastic component, you need some metal component, some glass, and PCBs are there, and some other kind of material which you will use to basically manufacture the product or any electronic product. Once you use it, you are it's completed its life, and there is no use of that particular material. Now the circular economy means, once you discard it, so it should go again go for the recycling, and it should convert it into the raw material as plastic, plastic granules, metal as metal bricks, and some gold and this copper and other things could be in a raw form of gold and copper. So this is how it should complete a 360 degree of the life cycle of any electronic product. Okay. So this is how normally we used to recycle in a formal way in our factories. You can see the employee who is opening that particular device having a cut resistant or shock resistant devices there, some band they wear normally, they protect glasses are there, then mask is there. Whenever they're opening any devices, just breaking it, there should be some fumes, there could be some sharp needle could be there which can be pierced into their hand. So that's why that cut resistant hand gloves they normally used to wear while opening it, that should not harm to their health. Okay, then you can see that old monitors which are there lying into the this belt which is going for the dismantling or the recycling. Everybody is covered with the helmet, so there should not be any harm to the person who is treating this particular material. Okay, once it's a manual and semi manual process which we have shown. After there are after that there is machineries are there. So let's suppose these are the employees who are just dismantling that material. Once they have dismantled, they have made a plastic components in a one row, they have made metal component in different row, PCBs and different storage. So what they do is, after collecting that material, then it's sent for the recycling, where they crush that material. Let me talk about let's start with the plastic. Once they get the plastic component, they send it to the crusher or the shredder, which shred that particular plastics into the small pieces. Then it goes for the granulization for the small granules when they made, and then melting, and the small granules they create for the plastic. So that means the 360 degree of the plastic. Again, in case of metal, what they do, it goes for the shredding part. After shredding, it go for more crushing so that they can be crushed into the very small pieces, and then go for the melting part, furnace. So it goes to for the furnace, where it make the brick of that particular raw material of copper, or maybe the iron or MS or SS, whatever the product they extract from the material. So this is how they process. And the same way they treat the PCB also. Once they have the PCBs of all kind of PCBs, they first of all they remove the component, all ICs and everything of component from the PCB, and then that PCB goes for the granulization and extraction of the precious metal. So this is the complete process. And let's suppose there's a monitor, what monitor which we are seeing here. While opening the monitor, there are many kind of harmful chemicals are there. That phosphorus powder is there, which is there into the CRT tubes. Once they cut into the open environment, that can harm the environment. So whenever they open the CRT tube, it has to be in a very covered area. You all have seen while this corona time or the pandemic time, how doctor used to do the testing of the patient. Normally, doctor is inside a cabin and patient is sitting outside, where doctor just keep their hand into a very long kind of dastana and just uh, do the test of that particular patient, where the doctor don't come into the contact of that kind of patient. So same way, these kind of products are getting treated. So in a very controlled manner, in our case, or recycling of that e-waste, employee stand outside the machinery, that particular CRT tubes goes into the machine, and then they put their hand into that gloves, and then they treat it, so that whatever the fumes are coming out, so that has to be sucked. There would be some air ventilation or the air control system is there into that particular machine. So once they open, whatever the powder or chemicals are coming out from that particular CRT or the or your क्या कहते हैं अपना कार्ट्रेजेस, तो जितना भी आता है वो सब एक जगह कलेक्शन में जाता है, कलेक्शन बिन के अंदर, और कलेक्शन बिन से और हमारी जो कंपनीज हैं, जो TSDF साइट्स, यू जस्ट रीड अबाउट द TSDF, वो इसको ट्रीट करते हैं, जो भी रेसिड्यूज बचता है वो ट्रीट करके इसको बिल्कुल जीरो कर देते हैं। तो इससे केमिकल या हमारे हार्मफुल जो जो एयर में जाना होता है वो एयर में नहीं जाता है, जो वाटर के अंदर फेंकना होता है वाटर में नहीं जाता है, वो पूरा पर्टिकुलर बन के एक रॉ केमिकल दोबारा मार्केट में आ जाता है सेल के लिए, दोबारा रीयूज होने के लिए। तो इससे हमारा जो जीरो लैंडफिल और जीरो हार्म टू द एनवायरमेंट, दिस इज हाउ वी treat this particular material into a formal sector. But you know, आपको लगता होगा कि इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर, जब भी आप अपने प्रोडक्ट को इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर को सेल करते हैं, तो आपको वो कुछ वैल्यू देते हैं। आपका लोकल कबाड़ी वाला आपके घर से टीवी लेके जाता है या कंप्यूटर लेके जाता है, तो वो आपको पैसा देता है, क्योंकि आपने देखा वो किस सिचुएशन में या किस कंडीशन में काम करते हैं। उनके लिए ना तो मशीन की जरूरत है, ना उनके लिए कोई स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, ना उनके लिए कुछ भी है कि हेल्थ हजार्डियस है, कोई हजार्डियस कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो उसको ट्रीट करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से वो आपको कुछ पे कर पाते हैं। लेकिन वहीं पे अगर आप बात करें इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर की, तो सॉरी फॉर्मल सेक्टर की, तो फॉर्मल सेक्टर बिकॉज ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, बिकॉज ऑफ देयर सैलरीज एंड एवरीथिंग, they are hardly able to pay you. They are able to pay you, but once the material should be in a bulk where they can find some value out of it, then they will definitely pay you. Otherwise, in case of single one or two or three equipment which they have to pick from the domestic area, they won't be able to give you anything. So okay, so this is how the complete e-waste industry or the formal sector works. See, recover, how we can recover, and what is the process of any WEEE kind of equipment. So first they go for the collection, any collection point, because government give the license to the collection centers also, who are the authorized collection centers for e-waste. Hindustan e-waste one of them as a collection center. Then sorry, go for the dismantler. There are licenses, or there are players who has the license of dismantling. So these guys, what they can do, they can they can collect the material and they can just open it and segregate the material, plastic as a plastic, metal as a metal, and these are the called dismantler. Pre-processing and processing and recycle or recover material. Third one comes as a recycler who will have the facility of recycling the material. Once the dismantler dismantle the material, after dismantling, recycler take that particular material and recycle everything. Okay. Recover. You can see these are the things what can be recovered. You can see the silver, gold, some platinum is also there, and this is how the copper the person is carrying into their hand, and these are the PCBs. PCB has the component, the processor is there, the motherboard is there. So these are the things. And you know that recovery of the gold or the precious metal from the electronic waste is 10 times less costlier than getting it these precious metal from the ore of our earth. Okay, जितना भी हम जमीन से खोद के और उसके अंदर से ओर में से जो हमारी रिकवरी होती है और उसकी जो कॉस्टिंग आती है, उसमें से ऑलमोस्ट 10% इज द कॉस्ट which a person has to bear to get it recovered from the electronic waste. Okay, this much cheap is there. And earlier days when we were not aware and we were not having the technology of extracting this material, we were just wasting our resources. We were just throwing it out into the river or maybe going for the landfill because there was no technology. Nobody was aware what to do with this electronic waste. So each one has the responsibility to encourage and facilitate organized recycling system. How you have to aware your relatives, your nearby, your friends, what is e-waste and how it should be get treated. Should subsidize recycling and disposal industry. There should be some kind of subsidies from the government side also, where recycler or disposal industries who are working, because see, the costing part is very high if we are talking about the electronic waste, because the raw product for any recycler is the electronic waste. Okay, and if the raw product cost goes high, there is metal cost, which is standard. If they are selling iron, is there, if they are selling copper, if they are selling plastic, there's some standard of these, there are product price which are standardized कि हाँ आपको अगर आप मेटल बेच रहे हैं मार्केट में तो आपको इतने रुपए किलो ही बिकेगा, अगर आप कोई गोल्ड कॉपर बेच रहे हैं तो इतने रुपए किलो ही बिकेगा। लेकिन वहीं पे अगर उनके लिए कॉस्टिंग पीछे से बढ़ जाती है ई वेस्ट की, तो वहां पे उनकी रिकवरी या उनके लॉस के चांसेस ज्यादा हो जाते हैं और वहां पे वो कहीं ना कहीं इम्पैक्ट करती है कि उनकी वर्किंग स्टाइल के ऊपर। collect fee from manufacturer consumer for the disposal of toxic material. See, collect fee. Now there is a good time or talk to you regarding the collection fee from manufacturer. I told you earlier the producers who are the manufacturer or the seller of electronic product into the Indian market. They are called the producers or manufacturer. So what they have to do is there is a term called EPR, extended producer responsibility. Extended producer responsibility. This is the policy implemented by the Indian government to the Indian producers. Ki whatever the number of sale, whatever the number of product they are selling into the Indian market. Let's suppose they are selling 1,000 computers or maybe the 1,000 TV or maybe the 1 lakh TV or washing machine. So government says you are the responsible person because you are selling into the Indian market, so you have to bear the cost of recycling, because once the e-waste cost is higher and the recovery is less than the what they are paying for the at the time of buy, so there is some loss statement is there or loss calculation is there. So at that time the recycler has to charge that particular fees from the producer or maybe the consumer for the disposal of the material. Normally we used to in our solid waste, जो भी हमारे घर से कचरा निकलता है, we used to pay for that recycling. because जो कूड़े वाला हमारे यहाँ से जो हमारे को फैसिलिटी देता है, उनको हम पे करते हैं। उसी तरीके से इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट को ट्रीट करने के लिए प्रोड्यूसर को और कंज्यूमर को दे हैव टू पे सम फीस टू द रिसाइकलर। एटलीस्ट if you are not ready to pay, at least you should give it for the free so that they can get the material and they can do a good thing, because recycling is the process which even me and my friend decided to come into this industry as a noble task, क्योंकि जो भी हम कर रहे हैं, जो ई-वेस्ट जनरेट हो रहा है उसको किस तरीके से घटाना है। if and buts are there are challenges, but we will overcome on that part. Once the awareness is there, all the consumer are aware about their products, so then they will definitely do it. Incentive schemes for garbage collectors and general public for collecting and handing over the e-waste. Okay, awareness program e-waste for school children and general public. That's what we are doing, and NSS SPC team is also doing great job. Okay, so this is how Gandhi Ji Teen Bandar says, see no e-waste pollution, envision a clean and green India we want to see. Here, no environment pollution due to incorrect e-waste disposal. Say no to direct e-waste disposal. Direct means जो इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर जिस तरीके से उसको बंद करता है वो सब नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, so now I'm done with that. If you have queries, I'm happy to take.
Okay.
Yes.
So it was a lovely presentation. I really like. I think people are also very happy to see this. Guys, if you have any queries, I know you have a lot of queries
Uh,
about e-waste because we are dealing with e-waste every
see,
single day. So put in the
I
chat.
yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
got some queries. Gitesh says, sir, how do you dispose of the e-waste? Gitesh, I believe you got your answer. How do we dispose our e-waste and how you should dispose of the e-waste? See, whenever you buy a new product in current days, whenever you buy a new electronic product, you will find one toll-free number mentioned over there as a collection center. So you can make a note of that, and once you are done with your use of that particular material or the product, you can call that person and they can get it collected from your location. Okay,
And do we need to pay them or they pay us? What happens?
that totally depends. That totally depends. See,
Okay.
even refrigerator, if they get some good amount, and even we also, we are into the scenario. If from a locality, if we are getting good amount of e-waste, we are happy to pay because we are earning. We should also give some appreciation amount to the person who are discarding. Okay, but as I told you, the cost is very high of the logistic part. If one or two calls are there and we have to get it picked, normally we get the call from any remote area. What we call it, what we tell them is, sir, better to contact your nearest recycler. You try to
Okay.
search the nearest recycler who will have the facility to get it collected from your local locations. ओके क्योंकि मेरे लिए बहुत ज्यादा कॉस्टिंग पड़ जाता है, तो मैं उनको उस एरिया का कोई रिसाइकलर होता है तो वहां रेफर कर देता हूँ. बेटर टू कॉन्टेक्ट देम, है ना, जिससे वो उनको पे भी कर पाए और उनका प्रोडक्ट जल्दी से जल्दी रिसाइकलिंग के लिए जा पाए. Hello, I'm not from Acha, Harshvardhan. I'm not from IT industry, but from the auto sector. Our basic e-waste is panel item of large manufacturing machines. We sell it to the authorized e-waste vendor based in Gurgaon. Very good, Harsh. You are doing it okay. And he's from the auto industry and he's from the company. And what they do is whatever the e-waste panel is there, because there are some components of the panel like a PCB boards are there, or maybe some electronic components are there, which they sell to the e-waste recycler, authorized recycler in Gurgaon. Very good, Harsh. Shikha is saying, sir, so we all sell our old newspaper, books, etc. to corner kabadiwala, who take it to the bigger plants for recycling. Won't be more successful to create such a system for e-waste as well. Like sourcing e-waste from local gatherer, we rarely have local e-waste collection centers. See, Shikha, चैलेंज क्या आता है, जो लोकल कबाड़ी वाले से अगर फॉर्मल सेक्टर उनके साथ कनेक्ट होता है, लोकल कबाड़ी वाला अपने बड़े कबाड़ी वाले को देता है जिसके पास थोड़ा मतलब इन्वेस्टमेंट होगी और उन्होंने किसी किसी एक रिमोट एरिया में या किसी स्लम एरिया के अंदर 2 कमरों में 4 कमरों के अंदर ये अपना केमिकल बेस जलाने तोड़ने का जो काम किया हो करने के लिए होंगे वो उनको देते हैं बिकॉज दे पे हायर देन अस. हमसे ज्यादा प्राइस वो देते हैं उनको, तो दे आर बेटर टू डील विद देम. ओके, वो हमसे डील नहीं करते हैं. So this is the challenge for the kabadiwala. We try to take these guys on mainstream, but this is what the challenge is, because see, finally they are also, whatever they are doing for their earning. Okay, so वो वहीं जाना देना ज्यादा प्रेफर करते हैं जहां हमको ज्यादा पैसे मिले. Harshvardhan again saying, I think that all the manufacturer must be ISO 14001 2015 certified, as they have to implement stage of life cycle acquisition of raw material, design, production, transportation, delivery, use, end of life treatment, and final disposal. Harsh, though it is a good thing that every producer has to have a ISO certification, but ISO mainly focus on the technology or the process of your production, but they don't focus on the quality of the part or the component, the element which is there into that manufacturing thing. Okay, so ISO, definitely every producer has to have ISO certification, but with that they also are required to have a BIS certification also, which make it clear that you have to use minimum harmful element to the production with the production.
Yeah,
Please.
Shekhar ji, am I audible to you?
Yes,
right
yes,
now.
yes.
Yeah, Shekharji, yeah, very good afternoon, and thanks for this lovely session that you have imparted
Hmm.
for the getting an insight of the main things which most people are unaware of. So actually, we are the suppliers for Maruti Suzuki India Limited and Honda and all the major OEMs, and their
Okay.
basic requirement is this ISO certification. Okay,
Hmm.
so here, whatever we are producing as manufacturers, so they are demanding from us that how you are disposing of your part, because there are some components in our product also that includes lead and cadmium as
Hmm.
well as mercury sometimes.
Right.
So they are demanding from us that how your product is going to be disposed of after the after its end of life. So
Hmm.
similarly, if you can see, there are a lot of products around in the market which are
Hmm.
having like some say we are ISO 9001 certified. So it's
Hmm.
basically related to quality. Okay, now ISO 14001 is simply related to that the manufacturer is having a system basically related to environment management,
Right.
so that
Hmm.
his product is not damaging the uh, the damaging the natural resources like air, water,
Hmm.
etc. during the usage or after the end of life also. So this can be of great part that if we all demand that the manufacturer should be ISO 14000 certified, so definitely it would help the society in a very great manner. So
Yeah,
that
definitely,
is
Harsh.
my viewpoint. That is my viewpoint. I might be wrong, and
No, no,
if you
no.
can
No, I'm not
add
saying that
something
you are
more.
wrong, Harsh. What I'm trying to tell you is ISO 14000 and 9000. These are the standards on which the manufacturer or the producer has to work. But while manufacturing or while using the raw material, what component should be there in the raw material? You are from the automobile industry, BS6 and BS4. While making the product, how harmful that product while using it. Okay, so the same thing in the BIS for the electronic products. While making or the production or manufacturing the product, what kind of raw material they have to use. Okay, ISO is a completely, definitely not very, we can say, isolate to the BIS, but definitely BIS is the depth of the production, what harmful chemical and what amount of harmful chemical they can use while producing or manufacturing the product, right? Any other question?
Guys, anyone has any questions, put it in the chat box. Till then, sir, I would like to ask you one, two more questions.
Yeah. Please
Sir,
go
we
ahead.
all have e-waste in our homes, and
Hmm.
generally speaking, we don't sell our e-waste for a long time. So,
Hmm.
is it good to keep the e-waste in our home, or should we sell it as soon as possible that that the device is exhausted?
See, till the time as I told you earlier in during the session also, if your cartridge is not broken,
Hmm.
if your ink is not broken, if your CFL is not broken, if your battery is not broken, till the
Hmm.
time it is safe.
Okay.
Okay, लेकिन जैसे ही अगर घर में सही से नहीं रखा जाता है और उसको वाइल डिस्कार्डिंग वो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करते टाइम उन्होंने सही से कैरी नहीं किया, so that case it is harmful, very harmful.
And if the battery and these things are broken in the panel or
It should
something
be
like that.
packed, it should be packed, it should be
Okay.
packed so that so no more harm should be there to the environment or the health of the local or your family members.
Okay.
Okay, and should be hand over to the recycler.
Okay. And like almost, I think majority of Indians sell it to the local kabadi wala only. So
Normally.
yeah. So
Hmm.
is it harmful to sell all these e-waste to local kabadi walas, or should we sell it to those numbers only which is placed on the equipment?
See, there is one query also which is coming
Hmm.
twice from Palak Vishwari also,
Hmm.
and someone else
Yeah.
also asked me, Palak, how many collection centers are there into the Madhya Pradesh? Okay, or maybe the other cities. See, there is
Yeah.
a website called CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB. .gov or .nic.in. Okay, you can make a note of it. CPCB is the governing body of the pollution control, pollution industry. Okay, so what they do is they give you all the insight how many collection centers are there in your state or in your cities. Okay, that number will also, the toll free number or the contact detail also will be given over there. You can go through that website. You can find out your nearest recycler or the collection center. You can call them and they will get it collected. Right?
Okay. The website was CPCB, right?
Yes, CPCB.
Okay.
Central
So
Pollution Control Board. They are the governing body of that pollution. Okay. So they give the standards how any recycler has to make a recycling plant or how it should be treated. Okay, what are the policies, the EPR targets that I told you, EPR, extended producer responsibility. So these are the things which they take care. They are the monitoring body of the any waste industry or the electronic waste, maybe electronic waste, maybe solid waste, maybe hazardous waste, anything. So they take care of that part. CPCB.
Okay. तो हमें अगर कुछ भी देना तो वहाँ पे टोल फ्री नंबर निकाल के उनको कॉल कर
हाँ, आप you can just go through the website, you can find out and you can give that material to them.
I think there is one last question from Lokendra. He asking that, sir, what is the approximate percentage of lead and I think GE
See, let me tell you, e-waste is not a standard product. E-waste is your phone also an e-waste, your CPU is also an e-waste, your monitor is also an e-waste, your TV is also an e-waste. As such, there is no percentage I can define, a fixed percentage.
Yeah.
Right? Hardly 1 or 2% is there, but it is very harmful. Yes. Any other query?
Yes, sir, if you can take it.
Achal, tell me, Achal.
Sir, I wanted to ask that is there any incentive that we can give to the waste sellers or people who are giving their waste so that they give their waste in formal sectors only, not to the local waste collectors, since local waste collectors pay a high amount to them, regardless of the fact that they it is harmful to give the waste to them, like they process it in a harmful way.
Achal, as I told you during the session also, the local kabadi wala normally used to sell their collection of the e-waste to the bada kabadi wala, bigger kabadi wala. Okay, because that bigger kabadi wala would have some kind of facility in a slum area, jahan pe 5-6 labor, when in a very hazardous manner they would be working. Okay, and whatever they are extracting, there is no cost of that extraction, the process which they will follow. Okay, because they are not taking care of the standards, they are not taking care of the health, they're not taking care of the environment, so they definitely pay them higher than us. Normally we do buy, but it's a loss statement in normal says. अगर मैं आज की डेट में बात करता हूँ कि मुझे टीवी चाहिए, तो मैं टीवी अगर इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर से लेने जाता हूँ तो पर केजी मुझे टीवी कम से कम 35 या 40 रुपए किलो मिलता है। और एक इनफॉर्मल फॉर्मल सेक्टर जिसने अपना प्लांट लगा रखा है, वो जिस टाइम उसको प्रोसेस करता है, उसकी प्रोसेस की कॉस्टिंग करता है और उसके बाद जो रिकवरी आती है वो उसकी 30 रुपए किलो नहीं आती है, उसकी रिकवरी हार्डली 20 से 22 रुपए किलो आती है। तो वो जो बीच का लॉस है वो लॉस बढ़ जाता है, एंड देन यू हैव टू पे टू द लोकल कबाड़ी वाला, तो वो फिजिबल नहीं हो पाता। इस वजह से ईपीआर का जो पॉलिसी है, ईपीआर के अंदर जो प्रोड्यूसर्स हैं, दे हैव टू बियर दिस कॉस्ट बिकॉज दे नो कि जो ई वेस्ट है मोस्टली इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर के पास ही कलेक्ट होता है, वहां से उसको चैनलाइज करके जब फॉर्मल सेक्टर के पास ले जाया जाता है, उसको ले जाने के बाद जो प्रोसेस करते हैं, उस प्रोसेस करने में फॉर्मल सेक्टर को लॉस होता है। सो देयर इज सम साल्वेज दैट फॉर्मल सेक्टर चार्ज फ्रॉम द मैन्युफैक्चरर. So this is called EPR, extended producer responsibility, and they have to pay to the recycler. So this is the policy there in place in India, which is there, and that's why all the producers who are selling that product into the Indian market now mentioning their collection center number and their contact detail there on the product. Now, okay? You are not audible. sir, I will try to collect more and more e-waste from my locality and send it to the collection center. Thank you, Palak. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir, for such insightful session. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us. Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you, Karthik, Anchita. Anyone else has anyone who has any query?
Also, sir, like we have seen in Nehru Place and that places, like if they get any fourth or fifth generation computers or laptops, they repair it and resell it. Or like your systems or these formal systems also manage these waste in that way, or they like extract raw materials from it or and resell it.
जैसे मैंने बताया ना कि जो रिसाइकलिंग इंडस्ट्री है वो 3R पे ही स्टैंड करती है, रिड्यूस, रीयूज एंड रिसाइकिल. Whatever the way we should reduce, we have to reduce, and whatever the way we have to reuse, we should reuse the material. Okay, so whatever the narrow place is doing is a good job. Okay, but the remaining part, whatever the spare which got faulty and they are discarding it, that part should be given to the formal sector only. That's it.
Okay, any more questions?
Chahat said thank you, Aditya, to everyone. Thank you for this wonderful session.
Okay, sir, as you can see in the chat box, audience are like, this was a lovely session, and thank you so much, sir, for joining in. And this was such an
you.
insightful session, and we are sure that all our audience must be having a deeper perspective regarding e-waste and its recycling. And thank you so much on the behalf of NSS SVC and college authorities and all my audience and friends who have joined here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, the SVC team. Thank you, NSS. And we will keep organizing this kind of session. We are happy to organize it. Okay, and we were happy to organize the collection drives also. What Aditya said, the next week will be a collection drive in Satyaniketan, and we would love to be a part of that kind of drive. Okay, some new things will come to know, and some new learning will be there for us and for you as well. We will see how we can make this India or this place as a better place to live. Thank you,
for your time, sir.
Saloni. Thank you, Anchita. Thank you very much. Should I leave now? Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Guys, you all can start leaving, and see you super soon in the next one.